expectation of something better. I think our expectations of what we want life to be often overshadow the good things that are already in front of us. And that's when we miss the silver lining. All God asks of us is to live the best life we can with what we are given. In other words, we are all given different blessings and different crosses to bear, which means we can only take care of what's in front of us in that moment and do the best we can. As my life changed over the years, these truths proved to be something I needed to hear. I needed to remind myself that my old gifts were gone, and they didn't serve me in living my best life anymore. I had new gifts and crosses given to me, and I had to rethink how to live my life with them. It took a while to find my new normal, and that continues to change daily. But when my focus is on living the best life I can with what I have in that moment, I always find my silver lining. I'm not expecting the gold I used to have. I'm not looking for the gold that I think I should have. I'm looking at the silver right in front of me and saying thank you every day. This applies to my body and my health too. I am always prefacing any plans I make with the stipulation that I won't know until the day of if any of it will happen. Back when I was able to get out and about, my friend Meg picked me up one night to go watch our friend Susie's husband play in his band. I knew before we left that my day hadn't gone smoothly, but I was sure I could push through the pain and go with them. During the very short ride to Main Street, the shooting pains in my leg had me shifting around trying to find a comfortable way to sit. We got to the bar, I got out of the car and took about 3 steps on my crutches, and I was stuck. I couldn't stand up straight, couldn't walk to the bar, couldn't walk back to the car. Yes, it was as embarrassing as you are imagining. Susie and her brother helped me to the car, and Meg drove me straight back home. I was hoping for gold, but I wasn't expecting it. Deep down, I knew there was a huge chance the night wasn't going to play out as I had hoped, but I didn't miss the silver linings. My friends were there to help me, and Meg wasn't worried about missing the first set. Instead, she made sure I got home okay. And here's the biggest silver lining of them all. All of those people would try again with me anytime. Really, how can I be anything less than grateful for that? Now, let me just say that sometimes disappointment weighs heavy on me. But in my disappointment, the same rules still apply. I do the best I can with what I have. Is it usually all I want to do? No. But in the end, focusing on the silver lining is what gets me through the day. I really think in this life we find what we are meant to do when we stop focusing on what we are kept from doing. I have to remind myself sometimes, but the more I acknowledge that silver lining, the less I notice the gold that's out of reach.
Going out with friends and ending up back at home was disappointing for a social person like Sara. But other losses were bigger and more devastating. The ability to drive was a big one. And here, she looks back on the day she realized she no longer needed a driver's license. In her typical fashion, Sara shares her story with humor and honesty and ends up working her way to joy, despite the pain.
It was almost a month to the day after we celebrated my birthday when my friend Susie called. She was telling me about some event that had happened while she was getting her license renewed, and my heart almost got stuck in my throat. Since I hadn't driven anywhere in ages, it hadn't even occurred to me to check my license. And sure enough, it was expiring the very next day. Susie and I both panicked, but she was out running errands with her boys and said they would pick me up and take me to get it renewed. I bustled around as fast as I could to change and get presentable for the photo, my main concern being the fact that 5 years ago, I took a really good driver's license photo. And now I had been on steroids and looked like Theodore, the fullest-cheeked chipmunk of the bunch. So when Susie picked me up in the sweltering Iowa heat and I had on a sleeveless turtleneck, I thought she was going to drive right into the building because she was laughing so hard at me. My theory that the turtleneck helped cover up some of the steroid look of my neck only made her laugh harder. And through the insanity of all of this, reality still hadn't hit me. My friend was picking me up to get my driver's license renewed because I could barely walk to her car on crutches, let alone drive. My biggest concern